Attraction isn't magic. It's strategy. And most guys get it completely wrong. You don't attract a woman by chasing her. You don't make her stay by constantly proving how much you care. And you definitely don't earn her respect by explaining how nice or different you are from other guys. If you keep finding yourself in the same cycle, texting first, replying fast, trying to be funny, kind, available, present, and still, she pulls away, becomes colder, or loses interest, then this video is going to change the way you approach everything. Because we're not here to talk about pickup lines. We're not here to teach tricks or fake confidence. This is deeper than that. We're talking about how to move, how to position yourself, and how to show up in a way that naturally creates attraction, without needing to perform, beg, or chase. We're talking about what Machiavelli would have taught if he were alive today, advising men not on how to play games, but on how to hold power. Because when it comes to relationships, power is quiet. It doesn't beg for attention. It doesn't chase. It doesn't try to convince. It simply exists, calm, composed, rare, and that alone creates gravity. This isn't manipulation. This is clarity. It's about becoming the kind of man who commands respect without asking for it, who creates tension without forcing it, who doesn't need to be chosen because he's already chosen himself. In this video, you're going to learn 5 Machiavellian rules of attraction that change how women experience you, both in real life and online. We're going to break down the exact behaviors that build pull instead of pressure, desire instead of dependency, and curiosity instead of boredom. And by the end, you won't just understand why what you were doing didn't work. You'll know exactly what to do instead. Let's get into it. Rule 1. Be the one she can't fully read. Here's the truth most guys never learn. Predictability kills attraction. When a woman knows exactly what you'll say, exactly how you'll respond, exactly how fast you'll reply to her story, you lose the one thing that fuels attraction: mystery. Machiavelli said people don't respect what they fully understand. They respect what they can't fully predict. So when you're too obvious with your feelings, when you overshare, when you always validate her without her having to earn it, she doesn't feel curious. She feels in control. And when she feels in control, she doesn't chase. In real life, don't be the guy who announces his whole plan on the first date. Don't text "good morning" every single day before she's even shown consistent interest. Don't immediately double text when she hasn't replied for 4 hours. Give space. Respond when it makes sense. Let silence do some of the work. Because when she doesn't always know what you're thinking, she starts thinking more about you. That's power. Rule 2. Online, your presence should be rare and valuable. If she watches your story and sees you posting every hour, if she sees you commenting under every girl's reel, if your online energy screams, "Look at me," it doesn't attract her. It makes her scroll. Think like Machiavelli here. Power is perception. Online, less is more. A single high-value post, a clean profile, a story that makes her pause, that's enough. You don't want her to think, "Wow, he's always here." You want her to think, what's he up to? This doesn't mean you never post. It means your content reflects who you are becoming, not what you're trying to prove. Show value. Show your life. But don't overshare your thoughts, pain, or desperation for connection. In a world of noise, silence is seductive. Rule 3. Stop over-explaining and defending yourself. Machiavelli said it clearly. The first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the men he has around him. But let's take that deeper. In your case, how you carry yourself around women tells her how she should treat you. If you're constantly explaining why you said something, apologizing for every small thing, justifying why you're not like the others, you create a dynamic where she becomes the judge, and you become the one asking for approval. That doesn't build attraction. It builds pressure and boredom. In real life, you say something bold, and she gives you a look. You don't need to panic. You can just smile and say, "You'll figure me out later." She asks why you didn't reply right away. You say, "I don't rush anything I care about." You don't need to defend your rhythm. You need to own it. Confidence isn't about being loud. It's about being unbothered by misunderstanding. The guy who doesn't feel the need to explain himself every second, that guy creates intrigue, and women chase what feels intriguing. Rule 4. Be emotionally selective, not emotionally needy. You're allowed to care. You're allowed to be soft. But Machiavellian attraction is about one key thing: emotional control. If every time she says something cute, you melt. If she pulls back and you instantly overthink, panic, and start chasing. If she's cold one day and your whole mood changes, you're not being romantic, you're being emotionally reactive. In Machiavellian terms, you've just given her leverage. You've shown her that your peace of mind is tied to how she acts. And once that happens, the dynamic is unbalanced. She has nothing to prove, and you're the one doing all the work. Instead, practice emotional selectivity. Compliment when it's earned. Match energy instead of giving it blindly. Don't fake indifference. Just stop offering 100% to someone giving 40%. Real-life example? She starts acting cold or dry via text. Don't send a paragraph. Just slow down your replies. You ask her to hang out, and she flakes last minute? Don't beg. Just say, "All good," and move on. Attraction isn't about being available for everything. It's about making her wonder what part of you she actually has access to. Rule 5. Build your power so she feels lucky to get your time. This one changes everything. Most guys chase because they have nothing else filling their time. They're not building anything. They're not focused. Their attention is scattered, and their emotional world revolves around a woman they just met. Machiavelli would laugh. Because the strongest form of attraction is when someone senses that you're already fulfilled, and you don't need them, but you still choose them. When you're building something in your life, a business, a craft, your fitness, your mind, you start moving different. You don't text out of boredom. You don't overgive your energy. You don't chase attention, because you're already on purpose. Women feel that. They feel the difference between a guy who's available and a guy who's driven. Online, that shows up in what you post. IRL, that shows up in how you walk, how you speak, how you use your time. When you have your own mission, you don't need to act mysterious. Your life already makes you magnetic. Now let's make this real. Because ideas are great, but if you don't know how to apply them, nothing changes. Here are a few everyday situations, both online and offline, where these rules actually show their power. Watch how the dynamic shifts just by changing how you move. IRL. You're on a date. She says something to test you like, "You probably say that to all the girls." Don't defend. Just smirk and say, "I don't say much, actually." Shift the power. Online. She leaves you on scene. Don't triple text. Post something valuable. Be silent. Let your absence speak. In a situationship, she gives less and you give more. Pull back your energy, not to punish, but to protect your standards. At the gym, in public, in class, Don't over-engage. Be friendly but calm. Women notice posture, stillness, focus. It's more attractive than trying to impress. Before we wrap this up, there's one last thing you need to understand. It's the part most people never get, and it's exactly why they keep chasing and getting nowhere. If you remember just one thing from this video, let it be this. Because once you shift this mindset, the entire way you experience attraction will change. Here's what Machiavelli understood that most people still don't. Power doesn't chase. It shapes the room. When you stop trying to convince someone to choose you, and you start moving like someone who is already chosen, by yourself, by your mission, by your peace, everything shifts. She feels it. She notices the difference. Because you're not here to beg for attention. You're here to create gravity. So stop asking, how do I get her to like me? Start asking, how do I move in a way that makes her curious? How do I become so grounded, so emotionally stable, so intentional, that she doesn't even understand why she keeps thinking about me? That's not magic. That's strategy. If this spoke to you, don't just keep it in your head. Write a comment, even just a few words. It helps you remember, and it might help someone else too. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this content, and share this with someone who, in your eyes, needs it right now. Just trust your instinct. We're all trying to get clearer, more solid inside. So let's build minds that don't break.